All right, on today's Blackboard discussion, we're going to talk about who we typically work with here at P2P Athletics and how we help them achieve their goals. Now, P2P is really just short for pain to performance, and we work with people across that entire continuum. So it might be someone who's trying to get out of pain so they can return to their sport or return to their activity. Or it might be someone who's looking to optimize how well their joints are functioning and their coordination of movement and their capacities so that they can optimize their performance and increase their longevity in that sport or activity. Now, this might be a competitive athlete looking to move to the next level, or this might be someone at a very high level trying to enhance how long that they can stay competitive at that level. Or this might be a mother struggling to get back to her activities after pregnancy, or maybe just a guy who's trying to lose fewer bets on the golf course. Either way, the big things that we need to know are what are your goals and what are you asking your body to do? What capabilities do you need to have to ultimately achieve those goals? From there, we can start diving in and be more specific on the fundamental abilities and skills that you need to have. Do your joints have the fundamental range of motion necessary for complex movements? Do your soft tissues allow your joints to express that range of motion? And is your brain capable of really controlling that range of motion both in an isolated manner or across multiple joints at the same time? Once we have that ability and some of these set fundamental skills, we really have to jump into capacity. Now, there are several different types of capacity that all sports need to a varying degree. That is load capacity, duration or fatigue capacity, speed capacity, and movement complexity. So we might have a power lifter who really is dominant on the load and strength capacity as their primary, or a triathlete that the duration and fatigability is really the most important. Or we might have a baseball player or golfer where they really need to do a complex movement very quickly. Or we may have a tennis player who really gets fatigued during their match while they're doing a complex movement very quickly. So the way that we develop capacities has to be very different depending on your set goals. But really, once we start having our abilities and building capacity for those abilities and skills, now we start to create capability. This capability is how we ultimately achieve our goals. Now, unfortunately, there are times where we're trying to work towards these goals that we may experience an injury or we may experience pain. But that happens, and we're here to help you through that process as well. Now, one of the best analogies I've heard for how we need to address pain is the sink analogy. So if you walk into your kitchen and your sink's overflowing and make a damn mess everywhere, the first thing you have to do is you have to go over and you have to turn off the faucet. Next thing you have to do is you have to reach through that water, open up the drain. And ultimately, you might need to build a bigger sink. So the first two steps, the faucet and the drain. The faucet is where, we may need to change some of our activities for a period of time, or we may need to really focus on our posture throughout the day while we're at work or we're at school or we're driving around to help decrease any of that sensitivity throughout the day. The drain might be a repetitive movement that we have to do that helps us to decrease that sensitivity once again. Once we can really start to calm things down, now we need to ultimately build it back up and build a bigger sink. Now, a bigger sink we've already discussed because that's coming over here and working on improving our abilities, improving our capacities so we can now become a more capable human to help us achieve our goals. So that's really kind of the process and the thought process behind what we do here at P2P Athletics and who we work with. The one requirement is you have to have goals, and we have to be able to work together to achieve the capabilities for you to accomplish those goals. Now, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Please reach out. My number and my email are below. You're welcome to call or text that number or shoot me an email. If you have any